Well, hello there. Happy Tuesday. Sun's trying to shine, so it is a happy Tuesday. It's not that happy of a Tuesday because we just had yet another power cut. I was in the middle of drying my hair. My washing was in the middle of doing its final spin in the washing machine, and boom, power went off. We're getting quite used to it actually around here. Oh, and it's just telling me it stopped. Right, what are we doing today? Well, thank you all very much for all your comments, about my goals and things for 2023. I know people have said, oh, that's a lot of goals, but don't forget, I'm aiming, my goals for 2024, get with it, Janet, that I've got a lot of goals, but then again, it's a long year, isn't it? So I'm not planning on doing them all in January. Would that I could, but I'm actually planning them to do them for the whole year. So thank you very much all for your comments. I appreciate each and every one of them. One day I will get round to answering the comments of everybody who wished me Happy New Year. I'm very, I've said before, don't I procrastinate so much. Yeah. Never actually do anything. Think about doing it. Have it planned to do, but don't do it. I think it's called procrastination. Oh, and I should explain before we start, I am looking after two dogs. I've got one behind me on the chair, which is why I'm perched on the edge of it, like some silly beggar. And the noisy one is on the sofa. She has done a requisite number of barks this morning, hopefully, but just in case she startles you, I'm giving you fair warning, yeah. Anyway, what have I been doing? Well, I've been sort of catching up on a lot of videos I hadn't watched and found a lot of new videos that I hadn't watched. You know, these What I Crocheted in 2023 videos, which make me feel like I haven't done anything all last year, yeah. But bear in mind that a lot of the things they make are like little strips and little top things and headbands. And what's with this little tweety thing that they're sticking on top of her head? You know, the earphones. It's like a little green spriggy thing. They're selling them on Etsy for £3. There's about 2 yards of green wool. What's with it? I thought at first it was a sprig of mistletoe or something, but then I thought, no, what is it? You fasten it round the top of her head. Oh, whatever. After watching all these sweet little things, I've decided that they invent their own kind of language, don't they? Just so that we oldies don't understand what they're talking about. I've decided that. And they were putting things in categories, and there was one category and I'm like, what? Oh, I was slaying this. You mean you were rocking it, you were killing it, you were whatever, you were looking good in it? Is that the latest thing? Because I've noticed it on nearly every video. They have this category called slaying. Oh, I was slaying that top, I was slaying that. And I'm like, eh? I think they invent their own kind of lingo so that we oldies don't understand them at all, yeah. And the latest trend, of course, seems to be getting a microphone that's as big as my lamp. And they hold it like that, talking into it, like it wouldn't work if it was on the table, yeah? And they have it stuck in front of their face like that, like they're going to be Adele or something and burst into song. What's with all that? I mean, most of them look like big black lollipops, or candy, what do you call them, toffee apples, yeah? And then there's one lady who's got a blue, it looks like a canister of deodorant. She's hugging onto it and holding it right next to her mouth, I mean, cameras today have evolved. They've got wonderful sound systems on them. And even if you do find the need to have a little additional microphone, you can clip it onto your jumper. Or you can put it onto the table in front of you. You don't have to hug it in front of your mouth like that. So we can't see what you're saying and we can't see what you're talking about. And then when you're trying to show us something, you're showing it with one hand because the other hand's stuck up with a microphone. It's another trend I've not got not got the hang of it, yeah. Right. Oh, another thing is, you know, all this gender neutral stuff, we're supposed to not say he, she. Why have sweaters suddenly become she? When they hold it up and they say, she's lovely. I've made this sweater, she's lovely. And I'm like, hang on a minute. 1 minute you're telling me not to call you a she or a he or an it or a what. And the next minute you're holding up your sweater saying, isn't she lovely? I tell you, it's all designed to make us feel as old as the elves, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, what am I making? I've finished the bits. I haven't sewn them up yet. Finished the bits. It's a bit shorter than I hoped it would be, my sweater, because I was running out of yarn, as you know. But I have actually finished the pieces, and I managed to get the piece, the front and the back, all done in the one colour. It's got the contrast round the neck, contrast round the bottom, yeah. So I've got to stitch it all up. So it will be a little bit tighter than I would have wanted it to, and it will be a little bit shorter than I wanted it to. But it's finished. Well, do you call it finished when you've finished, you've done the last chain and you go, wait, it's finished? You don't think about the hours you're going to spend sewing the thing together, do you? Or crocheting it together, whatever is your preferred method of joining, yeah. But still, so I don't know what I'm going to do next, yeah. As to what I'm wearing, I'm actually wearing 2 lots of beads today because I couldn't decide. How wonderful when you can't decide. So I've got 2 lots of beads on. I've got one of my purple dresses on. You know, the kind I think I've told you before. I have them in all colours. They're just a plain, long dress. Stands back in amazement. I wear these in all different colours because I find them so easy to versatile. You can put something on top and nobody knows you're wearing the same dress underneath, yeah. So that's what I'm wearing today. This, I don't know what the pattern is, but I do know that the cotton, if I remember rightly, was that Shoulder and Stall that I got from eBay. Shoulder and Stall. It was lovely cotton, but it was neither, it might have been like 4 in America, because it was neither double knit, but it wasn't Aran. So it was one of them, in between ones, yeah. I think the next thing that I need to start is the hood, you know, for my daughter-in-law, the hood. But I need to go across to the shed, which I might do because it's actually sun shining, so I might be able to feel my way around the shed in the dark. Mind you now, you see, now I have bought this huge torch. My son said to me, are you going to light the street? Because it's quite big. It's quite bright, actually. Well, you can't see it, can you? Oh, you can a bit, yeah. Oh, dazzled myself then. So I can always take that with me, can't I? You know, for the dark corners. I do need to spend, you know, quite some time in the shed, actually. But as somebody commented, I've forgotten your name, sorry. Somebody commented I should break it down into little pieces and do a little bit at a time. Especially with the patterns, because the patterns are overwhelming. I've got a great big tote, you know, like that big, where I just put all the, well, not all of them, I've got some that are segregated, is that the right word? Sorted out. But I've still got a great big box of assorted. There can be knitting in there, there can be crocheting in there, there can be babies, ladies, men's, well, not many men's, but, you know, theoretically speaking, there could be all that there. So every time somebody says, which pattern did you use? And I think, So I have to go for about an hour in the shed trying to find said pattern that I had used. That's why I cannot remember which pattern I used for this. I think I did actually use a pattern which is very rare, but the border would be one of my own. Yeah. You know me. I mean, that sweater I've just done, it doesn't enter my head. I do better when I don't have a pattern. Yeah. I was watching one of the Sweet Young Things, And she was saying, oh, I don't like following patterns or something. She said, especially the UK ones. They don't tell me enough. They don't show me pictures of where I've got to join this and that and the other. And I'm like, do you really need all those pictures? Because I don't. I mean, if you are a beginner crocheter or you're not very sure, yeah, by all means use a video tutorial. But kind of don't expect people who write patterns to what I call baby feed you. You know, a picture. This is your square. This is how you join it to the next square. This is how you do it. You know, no. It's called a learning curve. I've got plenty of learning curves with my knit and my crochet. But as you know, I have no learning curves when it comes to the PC. That's one thing that the sweet young things have over me, because they were born of a different generation. And computers to them are like books are to me. Yeah. I read a book, I read a leaflet or whatever, crochet, knitting, whatever, is perfectly understandable to me. Perfectly understandable. And yet you say to me, well, when you edit these things together, or when you go on TikTok and you do this, that and the other, I'm like, what? Yeah. You see, it's a different generational thing, isn't it? We were taught, I hate to say this, it sounds as though you're being very patronising, doesn't it? We were taught to use our brains. Like we used our brains with mental arithmetic, didn't we? We didn't have computers, we didn't have calculators, we didn't have anything like that. We went to a maths exam with a pen, or a pencil, whichever would you want. I think it had to be done in pen, didn't it? Because they said it couldn't be altered yet. We went into a maths exam equipped with a pen. We didn't have a calculator, we didn't have anything, we didn't have anything else at all. We just went in with a pen, yeah. And I'm not bragging, but I did get 75%, or was it 76%, in my O-levels in maths. So, yeah. And of course we did mental arithmetic in shops because we didn't have these cash registers that told us how much change people needed. We had to use the old noddle, didn't you? You had to use the brain, yeah. But then again, you see, we didn't learn computers, did we? We didn't learn how to edit things together. We didn't learn what these SEO codes mean or something or other, whatever it means to up your profile and to make yourself be, how can I put it, more visible online and that. We didn't learn any of that. I wish I'd had it done, because then maybe I could know what I was doing with a web page, for example, you know, which I don't know at all. I'm like, duh. So I'll just keep on reading my patterns and reading my pattern books and crocheting out of my head. I'll just carry on with that. As for what I'm going to do with all the stuff I've already got in the shed, I have no idea. Because obviously I've got far more stash than I will ever use in my lifetime. But, as that, was it called, Marie Kondo said, if it doesn't please you, if you hold it in your hand and it doesn't talk to you, then you can get rid of it. Sorry, mate. My wool yarn, talks to me. It goes, Janet, you love me. You cannot get rid of me because you love me. And one day you are going to make me into something. I still don't know what I'm going to do next. As I said before, I've got thoughts of what to use all those gorgeous 20-gram skeins that I got from Daniel. They're beautiful colours, and they, you know, they deserve something nicer than to be put into a pair of socks. Sorry, ladies who knit socks. And I've got some gorgeous skeins of hand-dyed yarn still in the shed that I just fondle and pat and go, oh, you are so lovely and soft, you are so gorgeous, but I am not making you into socks to stick my toes through and to be hidden inside my ankle boots. No. And as they're pretty colours, and they wouldn't exactly go with a pair of sandals, would they, you know? And you can't walk barefoot, just like, hey, look at my socks, hey. So I had thought of making hand warmers with some of them, but I lose my hand warmers. I put them down. I don't know whether Rosie runs off with them or they just get down the back of a chair. I look for them and I can't find them. And I mean, I've got a pair that I've just taken off and stuck on the table here. I've got pairs and pairs and pairs of these. Yet whenever I want a pair, I have to search. I've just ordered another 4 pair because I can't find the ones I had before. I'm not too bad with crochet hooks. People say they lose crochet hooks. I'm not too bad with that because I have got a system where they're in a zipper case. I've got a system for that. So that is not one of my resolutions. As I don't have any, yeah. Well, the family are all out, as you might have gathered. The dog's fast asleep now after having a bark marathon. One is behind me here that I can't sit on the chair because she's, I don't know whether you can see her or not. There she is. She insists on sitting behind me, so I'm perched. My rather large derriere is perched on about that much chair, which doesn't do my back any good. But having said that, when I finish this video and I go over there and sit over there with Rosie, she will come with me. Yes, well, you know the joys of having a dog, isn't it? Yes. Still, never mind. So I do need to finish this video off. I will say happy Tuesday because it's lovely and sunny today. And I'm not going anywhere because I won't leave the doggies. My son will say, just put them in the conservatory and leave them. But he knows I won't. I won't. I'm a, what to put it in? Overprotective grandma. I hate leaving them on their own. You know, they're not usually left on their own because they just aren't. You know, they're normally with somebody. I mean, I used to leave my big dog on his own, but then again, he was used to being left on his own, and he didn't bother. He would just go and curl up on the sofa and sleep till I come back, you know. He wasn't a nuisance, if you know what I mean, but Barky over there. It's a good job we're detached, isn't it? Otherwise we would have complaints from the neighbours, yeah. She's been to 3 courses of dog whatever it is. She's been to see a dog psychologist. She's been everywhere about the constant anxiety barking. But short of putting her around tranquilizers, which we won't do, you know, there's not a whole lot we can do, you know, with her. She's just a very anxious dog. Whereas this little one, she's so chilled. She's horizontal, you know. I will sleep anywhere. I will sleep on the rug. I will sleep on the chair. I will sleep anywhere. Yeah. But Rosie's always on high alert, you know. It's just her nature, I guess. But as you say, we inherited her. She is a rescue dog. And she was 5 months old when we got her, so you really do not know kind of what was going on in her past life. Why she's so anxious. And she's done very, very well considering when she came to us from Romania, she didn't even understand English. So here she has done marvellously well, really. But she still has this trait that we don't know kind of where it came from. Yeah. She's not dangerous. She's not, you know, she doesn't bite. She just barks like mad. And she's absolutely got no social graces, no social skills. She doesn't know how to react. As I say, we've had her to 3 training courses. But she does not know how to approach another dog, to play. She tends to run towards them, scare the owner, scare the dog. Of course the dog's on, because she's just bounded up to them. She just has never learned that, you know, you have to have a, well, I don't know what the social graces are for dogs, but there's a, you know, whatever. She's never learned it. No matter how hard we try, she's never learned it. Yeah, whereas the little one, she loves everybody. She'd go off with the first person who said hello to her, you know. Having said that, I met a French bulldog on the seafront the other day. And it was stood in front of a scooter, and the owner was trying to get it to move, and he said to me, I'm very sorry, he said, but you know, French bulldogs, like, they just do their own thing and they won't do as they're told, like, kind of thing. I said, you're talking to the converted. I know what you mean. And he was saying to this dog, like, come on, come on, come on. No, no, no. This dog was insisting, standing in front of my scooter. Then it sniffed at the scooter all over, decided to climb onto my scooter and say hello to me. Which I wasn't bothered about because I'm used to dogs, you know. They don't worry me at all. But when he said, you know, he's 3 and we can't control him at all. And I went, I know the feeling, I know the feeling. Ours is 3 and she does, well, she's not 3 yet, but she's 2 and a bit. And she does her own thing. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to make next. I brought some red sparkly yarn in from the shed that I was going to make something at Christmas, but now that Christmas is past, will I wear red sparkly? Although knowing me, yes I will, yeah. And I also got some black, which I was going to make another black cardigan, because one of my black cardigans has gone a bit fluffsy and a bit sort of not at its best. It's not looking, you know, what I call tip-top and worthy of an outing. It's more like worthy of wearing in bed at the moment, so I do need another black cardigan, but am I really in the mood to start a black cardigan? No, I don't think so. I'm in the mood to start something inspiring. So maybe it will be my daughter-in-law's hooded. Maybe I should go out to the shed, take the doggies with me because they're due a garden, trot round the garden. She's snoring. Can you hear the little one snore? Long breath in between snores now. She stopped snoring because she knows I'm listening to her. There's a plane now going overhead in case you can hear something. So I'm going to sort out my washing, put it to dry in my bedroom annex, as I keep calling it. It is part of the bedroom, but because there's a sliding door in between one bit and the other bit, I call it my annex, yeah. So I'm going to put my clothes to dry in the annex, on the clothes area, and go across to the shed and see if I have any wool, yarn, whatever you want to call it. I call it all wool, for my daughter-in-law's hoodie. Otherwise I'm going to have to buy some more. And so far my resolution, my one and only resolution, is to try not to buy yarn. Although I had to buy 2 balls that I did order in 2023, but they didn't arrive till 24. And that was to finish off this sweater. I needed some more of the plain purple. But having said that, I over-ordered, so I've got 1 full ball and a half ball left now, which I need to think about using up for something. I will think of something, because you know me, I love my purple. But 1.5 balls won't exactly make anything for me to wear, unless it's a hat or something. I was thinking of doing some colour work crochet, wasn't I? So maybe I've got lilacs and pinks and other colours in my oddball stash in the cupboard. Maybe I can think of something to do with that. My friend Sarah is making, you know, the proper mosaic colour, where it all looks like stripes on the back of it, but on the front of it I think it's a log cabin scene she's doing, all in black and white. That is just too much work for me. My little brain doesn't compute like that. Besides which, if it's going to be a sweater, I don't want it that thick. Because, you know, it's like you do 1 row at once. You don't do 2 colours on 1 row. You kind of do 1 row at a time, and it depends on the stitches that you do, whether it comes out as a pattern or not. But that would make it rather thick if it was a sweater or a cardigan, wouldn't it? I'm thinking more in terms of, there's a lady called, I think she's called My Dream Shoppy or something, shop. When they write S-H-O-P-P-E, I never know whether it's shop or shoppy. She does a lot of things with like a great big flower, you know, crocheted into things. But she does a lot of her stuff in this very, very thick chunky. Which, you know, I'm a chunky lady, let's face it. I don't want anything too chunky. Although, on my memories, I didn't put it up on Facebook, on my memories came a video of me and Sue from 9 years ago. And I just looked at it and I thought, my goodness, Janet, you weren't half a big girl. And I look worse because I sat next to Sue because she's quite tiny. And I'm like, oh, goodness gracious, you can tell you've lost 4 stone, girl. I was like, like a big, and big boobies sticking out everywhere. So I can't see myself as losing weight, but when I looked at that video, I thought, oh my goodness me, you have lost a lot of weight, yeah. And I'm still losing it, but very slowly, yeah. But having said that, I'm not eating, so that's probably why. I need to get my stomach sorted out, but that's a whole other video. And as you know, I don't like whiny videos, yeah. Yeah, as I said before, we've all got our crosses to bear with health-wise and stuff like that, so I try not to dwell on mine. I try to start each day off on a positive note. It's not always easy, is it? When you get up and you're feeling a bit blah, you know. My motto is, go have a shower, do your hair, put something nice on, make yourself feel better. My son said the other day, why are you dressed up? You're not going anywhere. And I go, it's part of my mental attitude. I feel better about myself when I dress nicely. Doesn't work for other people. I'm not advocating that you do it. You know, if you're quite happy in your whatever, your sweatpants or your t-shirt, that's fine. But for me, if I was not dressed in something nice, I would feel kind of depressed the rest of the day. It's the way I cope with life. It doesn't work for other people, and I know it doesn't. So that's why I say I'm not advocating that you go out and put your best frock on. I'm not advocating that at all. People get me wrong when I say that, and they go, yeah, but I'm quite happy in my t-shirt and my sweatpants. And I'm like, yeah, fine. Fair enough, you know. I'm not saying to you that you should do this and you should do that. I never want to say that, you know. I might privately think it when I'm out on the seafront and I see people wearing totally, you know, wrong things for their figure, but I don't actually say it out loud. You'd be glad to know. I do think it though, yeah. Yeah, you know, we've all seen, haven't we, the Asda Walmart pictures, you know, the ones where you think, they don't really walk about like that, do they? And they do, and half of them live in Fleetwood, yeah. Oh, here we go again. Can never stop that thing. You have to press the screen. I don't know whether the screen's greasy or what, but and it won't do it. Anyway, I'm going to go now and I'm going to wander off to my shed, see what I can find for this hood and stitch up the sweater. So you may see the finished sweater stitched up on my next video. So bye for now.